Hello, welcome back to Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Anime Review, episode number 5. This one discussing the 6th episode of the anime is called Summer. The Beach? I want to test my courage. Yep. This one technically adapts 3 chapters plus, believe it or not, but pretty much one of the one-shot chapters. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, they adapted for this episode chapters 18 to 20. And 13.9, which is a web exclusive chapter. Well, they loosely adapt this. They pretty much integrated this particular chapter into this episode in a very odd way, but that's simply what it is. Now, how they adapt this particular chapter is interesting, to say the least. Now, the episode starts out where chapter 19 starts out, which you're probably thinking, wait, why would they start with adapting book chapter 18 before 19 before 18? Well, they pretty much treat 18 as a flashback. Yeah, you first see Uzaki. The first time you see her is in her smoking hot swimsuit that she's wearing. Yep, the blue and white swimsuit. Now, in case you're curious though, do they change the swimsuits they wear for the manga? Nope. It's the same exact swimsuits. No change here. Though, Suzuki is wearing like his long swim trunks that he wore when he was on the swim team. Ami is simply wearing like a bikini top, shorts, and like a little shirt just around her arms. And she asked everyone to keep an eye on those two because Suzuki's best friend basically said that they're lodging. Now, how this whole thing came about was basically explained by the master, aka Ami's father, where about a week prior to this, where basically Hana decided to get a part-time job at the cafe that Suzuki works at. Yeah, there's a couple reasons. One, to annoy him, and two, because she needs spending money for the summer, which that's actually not a bad idea. Because after all, what are they going to do in the summertime? He is like, oh yeah, I'm going to spend my whole time playing video game for 3 months. He's like, nah, that's not a good idea. Let's go to the beach. And so, well, Suzuki decides to volunteer to help pay for the lodging. Get the lodging, and of course they don't mention it here, but Ami is the one who drove him here. Yep, and well, they get the lodging. Of course, it's not shown later what it is. Now, when Suzuki goes, basically sees the ocean, he goes swimming by himself, swims to the edge. Now here's the thing: in the U.S., we have these sort of cone barriers, basically to extend because pretty much people can only swim to about 3 miles out. I know because I've been to the beach. And one time I went to the beach, I actually swam past this thing. Yes, I had the courage to do that. But it was only like a little bit. I didn't go much further than that. And after I realized though, yeah, I should probably head back. I didn't go that far past these cone barriers. Because here it looks like there's a concrete barrier. Basically where the boundary is. Where here in the US we have these cones, these floatable cones, these little mini islands. So I figured though, swam back. Of course, this happened 20 years ago. This happened when I did this. Yes, I actually had the courage to swim out in the ocean when I was a little kid. Swim out, past the barrier, only a little bit, and then swim back. It's only like 3 miles out. Yes, I actually swam for 3 miles. This, of course, I was a little kid doing this. And yes, this is a memory I do remember. I was swimming with some other kid around my age. I do not remember his name. We were kind of competing who could swim out further, and I kind of won due to the fact at the time I was a bit of a stronger swimmer. Nowadays, I haven't swum in years because, well, I don't usually go to a pool very much, obviously. So he, of course, is chastised by Ami for going out by himself. And, of course, he had to run this Uzaki, does Hana go out in the ocean herself? Surprisingly, no. She is, despite the fact putting on the beautiful bikini, she doesn't do anything at all. Nope. And Ami wants Suzuki to comment Hana on her swimsuit. He comments her on her swimsuit, and he's like, and she smacks me like, don't comment mine. Comment hers. And we don't hear exactly what he says. And apparently, Hana sort of knocks him over, and then they want to play a game. Smash the watermelon. And have Suzuki basically be the first one to do it. So they blindfold him. and they try smashing, and then of course Hana was standing right behind him. He trips, and then he pretty much somehow now in the manga they kind of sense this with the cat image. In the anime, there's no such image. What is he doing? Somehow his hand got under her swimsuit top, and he's groping her, and she ends up blushing. And here's the thing: he's oblivious to the fact he's groping someone he went to high school with. Yeah, he's groping her, and Ami and Tsuki know that he's doing this, but they don't say anything about it. Yeah, and then of course she ends things like, they say, please get off me. And of course she's embarrassed by it. And then they have seen him walk into their summer lodging, which is big cabin. It turns out though, Sadaki, he is actually from a wealthy family, so they're able to afford this place. And their term wealth, they're like, oh, they got these fancy intercom, light switch, and a handle. Like, I've seen these things plenty of times, so they must not get out very much. Probably not. And then they have the courage test, where it turns out, and I think that you probably think that Hannah's the scaredy cat. Nope, she's not the one. It's actually Sadaki because he doesn't play horror video games or see horror movies because he finds them scary. So Hannah's like, he just takes his phone, which he uses as a flashlight. Of course, everyone else uses flashlights. Of course, he runs and chases her, and of course, he realizes he's so scared, and he just gives up. And this is kind of a weird thing to see. And then they go back, and of course, they two are basically fast asleep. Now, this is the last portion of the episode. This is taken from the web chapter. They kind of alter it a bit to where Hannah's doing something else than she was doing the original web chapter. In the web chapter, she was like reading a book on Tsuki's floor and he was asleep, and she sort of rolled over, and somehow that's how where he kind of in a way buried his face into her chest. In the anime, he just somehow, I don't know if he grabbed her, because it looked like she got right on top of him, well, on the side of him, and of course, he is sleeping in her chest, and of course she's blushing while doing this. Now, she also did this when he was groping her. Now, any normal woman basically would slap the guy who's groping her without her consent. Here, it's like, she doesn't have a very big problem with it because, yeah, it's very heavily implied she's got feelings for him. And then, of course, then they're like, he wakes up the next day, of course, it's about basically brushing teeth in the bathroom. No, they don't have a bathroom scene where they wash each other. They're just basically fully clothed, just brushing their own teeth. And Ami and Suki watching through the door is like, we missed something very important. He's like, yeah, and of course the episode ends with them arguing, and, well, that's it. All in all, pretty fun episode, to say the least. Also, they even have some stock footage of the episode. Yes, they have actual stock footage of something Ami probably knew nothing about. Of basically how back from the pilot episode of the series, where when Hana and Tsuki are at that electronics store and they're trying out those chairs, and she's wearing her super huge shirt. Now, because I think the reason why the animators did this, because generally she wears this shirt in every episode, and because she wearing this episode, they probably were required by the manga writer to have her once every episode to wear this shirt. And they got to some chapters where they go, oh crap, she's not wearing this shirt in any of these chapters. Let's just show some stock footage of her previously wearing it and call it a day. That's my personal guess. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. They integrated a web chapter in this episode, but it's similar, except that Hana in the manga, like I said, is just reading and rolls over to him, of course, on the floor. In the anime, he's lying on the couch, not the floor, and she's playing a video game. Looks like she's playing an Xbox One from the look of it. But yeah, that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my review for the newest episode of Fire Force, and hopefully, if we get time, the newest episode of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yep. Peace next video. Bye.